Okay, welcome to my video on expanding brackets. So by the end of this video, you should hopefully be able to expand a bracket as difficult as this. So we're going to start right at the beginning. First question, what is 5 bracket 10? What is that equal to? Okay, maybe you know, maybe you don't. When you've got a number in front of a bracket, what that tells you to do is to multiply. So this is actually 5 times 10, which is equal to 50. So it's important that you know that bracket notation. Let's do another one. Okay, so if I flip this over, let's do 6 brackets x. Okay, 6 bracket x is equal to 6 times x, 6x. Okay, so just remember that the idea here is if you're doing 6 times x, the way we write that when we're doing algebra is just to write 6x. So we don't need to write the multiplication sign between the number and the algebraic term. We could just write 6x. Okay, so with that in mind, can you have a go at this one? So I want you to do 5a. The answer is 5a. What about okay, so we've got 2a times 5. Well, that is equal to, so if you've got 2a and you're timesing it by 5, you're going to have 10a. Okay, so we've just done 2 times 5 is 10, and we've got a there as well. Okay, so let's do a different one. Let's do 2a times 5a. Well, that would be 2a times 5a. 2 times 5 is 10, but we still need to times it by a and by a. Well, we know what a times a is. A times a is a squared. So the answer would be 10a squared. Okay, so if we do another one, let's do 5y by 3y. Okay, so let's think 5 times 3 is 15. Y times y is y squared, 15y squared. Have a look at a different example. Let's do 2a times 3b. Okay, 2 times 3 is 6. A times b is ab. Perhaps you could have a go at this one. Okay. Now, one thing I want to point out here is when you've got two letters being written next to each other when we're talking about algebra, what you need to do is make sure you write them in alphabetical order. So here I wrote A in front of B, whereas here I've written A in front of X. Again, A comes before B in the alphabet, A comes before X in the alphabet. That's the only reason that we do it that way around. Okay, so let's try something that's slightly more complicated. Why don't we do this? Okay. So when you've got an expansion like this is how we can think of it. Think of it as we can use this model here. What's inside the bracket we can put along here. So we've got 2a plus 1 by 3. And what's going to happen is this 3 needs to multiply each of the things in the bracket. So 3 times 2a is 6a. 3 times 1 is 3. And so our answer is 6a plus 3. Okay. Let's do this one. Let's do 2 5b plus 2. Okay, let's have a little think. What goes here, do you think? 2 times 5b is 10b. 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, let's try some more. Okay, we're going to have a b here. What's b times b? 5 times 5 is 5 squared. B times b is b squared. B times 7 is 7b. B squared plus 7b. Okay, we could make this harder. We could do, I don't know, why don't we do minus 5, open brackets, 2a, take 3. So this is negative, so we've got negatives involved now. But we're going to follow the same process. Minus 5 goes here. 2a goes here. Minus 3 goes here. What's minus 5 times 2a? Minus 5 times 2 is minus 10. And in this case, minus 10a. Minus 5 times minus 3. Well, 5 times 3 is 15, and a negative times a negative gives me a positive. I've run out of room there to write that, but my answer is negative 10a plus 15. Okay, why don't we let you have a go at a negative? So why don't we do minus 3? And we'll say 2b minus 5. Have a go. Okay, so hopefully we got a minus 3 here. 2b minus 5. Okay. Negative 3 times 2b would be negative 6b. Negative 3 times 5 would be, again, this is going to be positive 15. And so our final answer is this. What about if there's more than 2 things in the bracket? Maybe we could start to think about that. So why don't we try 3w and then a plus 2w plus 1. Okay, so let's have a go. We might imagine that 3w is there. And we're going to put what's inside the bracket along the top, a plus 2w plus 1. Now you might have sort of expected that at this stage. 3w times a. Can you remember why I've put a first? 3w times 2w. Can you remember why I've written w squared? Can you see why I've got 3w as my answer here? So my final answer, which I've not left myself very much room to write, well, my final answer is this: 3aw plus 6w squared plus 3w. Now I did promise at the start of the video that we would get to this, and look how quickly we've come to getting this. This is actually this question we've just done. Why don't we let you have a go? Okay, so let's do 2a, open brackets, we're going to have b plus 5a minus 1. Right, okay, so let's have a look. We've got 2a, so we're going to write a 2a here. We've got b plus 5a minus 1. Okay, so 2a times b, 2a times 5a, 2a times negative 1, and so our answer is this. Okay, brilliant.